close to third base, and if I do, or play differently, which would be drop or fast life. But I guess we should talk about this ET now.
Yeah. But there's nothing wrong with the map versus Terran other than the fact that you just don't play on it much, right?
Against Terra, not really.
Okay.
I just don't really play against it, and my ZP pretty much.
Your main.
You can also see that I built a creeper colony
Yes.
without him actually moving out any kind of unit.
Um. Out.
Yes.
Right. Do you feel that? Do you,
also made the 7th sunken, and I get some free units with my Unilist. And now I'm trying to get more SCVs because he used Lurker and just try to delay him with my Mutalist. Generally, when you play against this 5x player, and any to cut more SCVs. Kill his M&M group, or else it will be hard to get Hydras over to the 3rd base. Attack while your lurker finish on your end. Generally, in this game here, I'm in a pretty good position because I saw that he was have three gas